I'm sitting in my office late in the day, and I'm about to grab my keys and head home. The phone rings, and I think to myself, should I answer it or just let it go to voicemail? What happened next saved a total stranger $7,162. Stay tuned. We're going to explain a misunderstood tax rule that impacts millions of Americans. You'll want to be sure to watch so you aren't relying on the generosity of a stranger to save you from an expensive mistake. I'm Mike Palmer, Certified Financial Planner and founder of Ark Royal Wealth Management. We love educating people on personal finance. Did you inherit an IRA from a parent or loved one in the past few years? Since 2020, when the Secure Act's 10-year rule went into effect, there's been a lot of confusion surrounding required minimum distributions, or RMDs, for inherited IRAs, which are also known as beneficiary IRAs. The rules have even confused some financial advisors. So stick around, because we're going to set the record straight and give you 2 tips to help you navigate this confusing and complex topic. And I'll tell you the rest of the story about that phone call. What's all the confusion about? When Congress passed the Secure Act, it essentially eliminated the stretch IRA for most non-spouse IRA beneficiaries and replaced it with what's called the 10-year rule. The new law requires that an inherited IRA be completely distributed by the end of the 10th year following the original owner's death. Now let me emphasize 2 important exceptions here. The 10-year rule only applies to non-spouse beneficiaries. And number 2, if you inherited a Roth IRA, you're exempt from the annual RMDs, but the entire account still needs to be depleted by the end of that 10th year. The number one mistake that we see people make is not taking an RMD. So if this applies to you, you need to act now. In just a moment, we'll discuss the other big mistakes that we see people make and what you should do instead. Let's return to the phone call that I described at the beginning. I did answer the phone, and a woman named Mary introduced herself, explaining that she'd inherited an IRA from her mother who died 2 years ago. Mary sounded anxious as she explained that her sister, who had inherited the other half of the IRA, had told Mary that no RMD was necessary. Mary asked if that was correct. After getting some additional information, I told Mary that her sister was incorrect, that she did indeed need to take an RMD before December 31st. This one phone call saved Mary $7,162 in tax penalties, and her sister the same amount. It just goes to show you never know what may happen when you answer your phone at the end of the day. Now, the original Secure Act was ambiguous about whether RMDs were required during the 10-year window. The IRS cleared up the confusion in final regulations that they issued in July of 2024, making it clear that RMDs are in fact required. But the IRS admitted their original law was murky, so they granted relief for tax years 2020 through 2024 if people didn't take an RMD. But starting in 2025, you've got to take that RMD or face a 25% penalty. That's the $7,162 that I saved Mary and her sister. But here's the other mistake that we see people make. In some cases, taking just the minimum amount can result in tens of thousands of dollars in extra tax. Here's why. All distributions from a traditional inherited IRA are taxed as ordinary income. Your goal should be to spread your distributions strategically over that 10-year window to avoid a massive tax hit in the final year. If you take just the minimum each year in years 1 through 9, you can end up with a very large distribution in year 10 that pushes you into a much higher tax bracket. Let's look at an example. Meet Julie. She's 51 and she has an inherited IRA from her mother who died in 2021. The IRA was valued at $450,000 at the end of last year. Julie and her husband both work and make a combined $275,000 a year, and their plans to retire at age 63. Now here's another mistake that we see many do-it-yourselfers make, and that's miscalculating the divisor, which is how you calculate RMDs each year. The IRS has a single life expectancy table, and that's what you should use if you're an IRA beneficiary, and it shows life expectancy by age. Now what's tricky, and what some people get wrong, is that the beneficiary needs to go back and find their age the first year they should have taken an RMD. In Julie's case, that would have been 2022, and she was 48 that year. Even though she didn't take an RMD in 2022, 2023, or 2024, she should use her life expectancy value as of 2022, reduced by 1 each subsequent year. That means Julie's divisor for 2025 is 35.1. We got that by taking her life expectancy in 2022, which was 38.1, reduced by 1 each subsequent year. To calculate her 2025 RMD, we take the value of the IRA at the end of 24 and divide by 35.1 to get $12,820. Now let's fast forward a few years. Let's assume Julie's IRA grows at a modest 5%. And let's also assume she takes just the RMD amount each year through year 9 of her 10-year window. That would mean in 2031, which is the final year, Julie would have to take out the entire IRA balance, which we think would be worth about $475,000. If we combine that IRA distribution with Julie and her husband's earned income of $275,000, that means that over half the IRA gets taxed at 35%. A better strategy might be to spread her payments more evenly over the remaining period. And in fact, this would reduce her total taxes by around 40%. But equal payments aren't the best solution for everyone. For people with inherited IRAs that are closer to retirement, you might consider a different strategy. Meet Bob. He's 60 and his mother also passed away in 2021. And he also has an inherited IRA worth about $450,000. Bob's planning to retire at the end of 2027. Should Bob use the same strategy as Julie and spread his RMD distributions equally over the remaining period? Since Bob's planning to retire in a few years, he might consider an alternative strategy. We'd recommend Bob take just the RMD amount for the next 3 years while he's still working, which would work out to be about $19,000 a year. Once Bob retires, he could take the remaining IRA balance in roughly equal amounts over the final 4 years of his 10-year window, and that would work out to be about $112,000 a year. Now, with this strategy, Bob can retire early, keep his marginal tax rate in the 22% bracket, delay Social Security to his full retirement age, and pay less cumulative tax over the entire period. Here's what you need to know. The inherited IRA rules are more complicated than ever, and they require customized strategies to make sure you pay not a penny more tax than absolutely necessary. If you inherit an IRA, you need to plan now. At Ark Royal, we've helped hundreds of people successfully navigate retirement. If you'd like to learn more about how we can help you maximize your retirement assets, we offer complimentary consultations. Just click on Book a Call with Mike in the show notes below. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more financial planning and retirement planning tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. If you'd like to learn more about the benefits of working with a truly independent and objective fee-only financial advisor, we welcome the opportunity to talk with you.